and his new team, the Denver Broncos, as they take on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Appreciate you, Coach. Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities. But right now, calm outside. And, of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Denver Broncos. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they come in just in an absolute free-fall, losers of 7 in a row.
And this is where you turn to your best players and look at them and say, can you guide us out of this? We've got to be better than what we've shown.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. This is Royce Freeman, second-year man from Oregon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Not the start they envisioned. Looks like a 3-and-out, and for a team that hasn't won a game in a while, that's tough.
And what we have to look out for and keep an eye on is the same thing that their coaches are doing. Wanting to see if guys are going to get discouraged early and sag because of what's happened in the recent losing streak. Can they stay with it despite a tough first drive?
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd year back from Florida State. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 2nd and 2. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
To throw, Cousins. Being chased out left. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Now a run with Cook. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Fourth down, Cousins. That's caught by Treadwell. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to the ground, Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. And Diggs has it. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. We're scoreless after 1. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. Now Cousins. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let it play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
A reminder that coming up later tonight, a good one on Sunday Night Football. We'll see what could have been a playoff matchup a season ago. The Bears and the Rams from L.A. And then tomorrow night, Monday Night Football from down in Mexico. Mexico City, to be precise. The Chiefs and the Chargers going at it. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On the ground, it's Riddick. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack. Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they're dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy. And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Calling a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it. But drop it there. Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass. Good as a sack. Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it will help them at contract time. And now out comes Minnesota. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for. Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in. And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week. Excellent focus. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely look for. How about that one? That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pumps from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. The tackle made by Todd Davis. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield. Cousins. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So they'll pass on what would have been a 49-yard field goal attempt, and they're going for it on 4th down. Running for it, here's Cook, able to get away. That's why you keep the legs churning. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. At first glance, I wasn't sure he got it. Then I saw that spot. Definitely a 1st down. It was, but boy, on the other side, you disputed a little bit, wouldn't you? Okay, if you're playing defense, are you sure he got there?
but that's why they tell you all the time, don't just get what you need, get a little bit more and take the decision out of the hands of the official.
Well, there he needed a yard. He got a yard and maybe an inch. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Throwing his Cousins. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Von Miller, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Throwing, Cousins. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Here's Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, this from 37. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're
under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. The pass there complete to Sutton. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On 3rd down, Freeman. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you...
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first.
And that throw intercepted. It's Chris Harris, the Pro Bowl corner. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
On first down, Lindsey. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Anthony Harris on the tackle. Riddick with a carry. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. From the gun, Flacco. He's got this complete to Hamilton. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Flacco on the give to Lindsey. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Flacco under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Anthony Barr, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Anthony Barr in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Cousins to throw it. Looking here for Smith downfield. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over. Thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. On 2nd and 11 now. Flacco, and he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. The 30, the 20, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, 81 yards, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Cousins on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Cousins now. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Bradley Chubb picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Mike 51, Mike 51.
Back near the goal line, Cousins going deep for Diggs. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick.
Let's go, folks.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try to cut down the length of the drive.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And we've got a dandy here. 1-point game as we begin the 4th. They go back to Riddick. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to have a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game.
That's it, baby. We gonna play.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games, but only led the Vikes to just 1 fourth-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. From the 22, Cousins. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. To throw is Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Daniil Hunter in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. Third and long for Joe Flacco. Got a man. That's Allison. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. The field position game often so overlooked, but this offense is going to be backed up deep. What an ideal punt.
And now, this stage of the game, when they need the drive to try and put themselves in a position to win it, you talk about going the long field, the very long field. This could be a 99.
And they got him behind the goal line. Cook goes down for a safety. And that disastrous play, partner, is ultimately going to seal their fate in this one, isn't it?
It certainly is, because they give up the 2 points, but that's not really what did it. It's having to give up the football. And because they gave up the football, guess what? The other team now can take the ball and close this game out.
Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Riddick. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Call it no gain on the dump-off, and it's 3rd down. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
And indeed, they will keep it on the ground. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So a change of possession here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit 000. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off?
Yep. And that throw intercepted. It's Chris Harris, the Pro Bowl corner. And that is going to seal this victory as time runs out. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play.